Happy New Year's Eve, everyone. I'm WCIA3 meteorologist Jacob Dickey here. An active end to 2021, or an active start to 2022, we should say, with the chance for rain, snow, sleet, and freezing rain in different parts of central Illinois. We're going to break down everything, talk about our forecast, look at snowfall maps, ice maps, and more, and answer any questions you may have. Before we do that, though, let me know where you're watching from in the comments. Already seeing some people doing that. A couple of housekeeping notes. Download the WCIA3 weather app. It will let you know if there's any winter weather alerts or any type of weather alert issued in your area. In addition, be sure and check the website. Those details are updated there. A couple of things, too. Tonight, there is no 5 o'clock news. There's no 9 o'clock news, but we will be on at 6 o'clock in about 24 minutes from now, and we'll be on at 10 o'clock tonight. There are no morning shows tomorrow either. So a bit of a short schedule because of the holiday weekend here. New Year's Eve today, New Year's Day tomorrow. One thing to note, too, we are reviewing the 2021 top 5 weather events tonight at 6 o'clock, and we'll probably air that again Sunday morning with Jack Griffin and I in the morning show. Then when we return, you'll catch that also on the website. We want to get that housekeeping out of the way before we talk more about the snow, ice, and who gets the mess, who gets stuck in a cold rain. Let's jump down to business here as you're logging on. Lots of folks checking in all over. Appreciate you and jumping in and your questions as well. Who gets snow and where it happens? We're going to answer those. Already seeing a number of folks saying, I want snow or I don't want snow. I will preface this with a lot of you may end up disappointed from this storm system, but the next one has much greater chance for sticking snow area-wide. We'll talk about that coming up. Let's talk about this weekend first, though. First off, here's a look outside in Champaign towards Campus Town. This comes from our station. There's still some areas of fog off there. Hard to see on the screen, but we know it's there, and we continue to watch. That fog has been a thing through the day. Low clouds and fog as temperatures pretty warm. Look at this. Champaign right now at 50, the dew point at 48. We're saturated with light wind with that moisture at the surface. Great ingredients for fog, especially this time of year as we see it here. So I'm going to bring that full screen here in a second and show you some of the things here. First off, temperatures out there right now, we are warm. That first is probably 60 in Effingham, and we're talking chance for wintry mix in the viewing area. It does bring some questions, but there is a strong cold front on the way, and once it hits, temperatures are going to drop pretty quickly here. 50 now in Champaign. You can see the swirl in the wind speeds. Notice how we got a south wind in place, but just to the northwest of the Illinois River there, Jacksonville off to the north, the wind barbs are out of the north. The cold front knocking on our door here as this area of low pressure passes on by, and so that's going to be something we need to watch. We are dry right now. There is a little bit of drizzle and a little bit of light mist out there close to the surface, but nothing heavy. Our storm system is off to the south, and you see that rain overspreading in Oklahoma, some snow towards Denver. That's where we're going to have to watch. I did see something interesting. It looks like down in Georgia, see that red box, that pink box right there? It looks like the northwest side of Atlanta has a confirmed tornado now moving through it from the same system. So just saw that pop on up there. Likely severe weather to our south. We are on the cold side of things, though, and keeping it with a mix of wintry weather here. Tonight we are dry. Your New Year's Eve plans are okay. You're going out, celebrating, hanging indoors, driving to the store, whatever you're doing. Tonight will be just fine out there. And even tomorrow morning, probably trending okay for most of us. We think most of the moisture is after 6 a.m., and so we'll watch it here. First off, let me back that up real quick. I'm going to get the graphics back here. It shows rain on the planner, but there will be areas of wintry mix and snow in some areas of central Illinois. I'll show you that on future track, but others of us will have to wait till any wintry mix until after 3 o'clock. That's probably going to include here in Champaign-Urbana. We do, though, think there'll be some spots that get a little more than that, so we're going to keep an eye on it. This is our impacts forecast. This starts Saturday afternoon into Sunday. Some spots in the orange and red may see impacts as early as Saturday morning. That's tomorrow morning, late morning hours here. The highest impacts, if you're traveling north to Chicago, LaSalle, Peru, Rockford, Galesburg, Peoria, that's where the highest impacts for this winter storm will be. But still in our area, we're right in the edge there. We'll call it low to medium across most of our area. Some of those higher impacts, even Bloomington, Normal, Pontiac, maybe Watsika, depending on where this freezing rain line sets up there. So the further north you go, the worse the impacts. Don't expect a lot of problems down to the south. Effingham, Mattoon, Paris looking good there. Even probably Taylorville trending towards the good side of things with this forecast. Let's talk about the Precip Type. This is where things get messy. Starting off when it approaches by Saturday morning into the afternoon, we'll see rain overspread, but that wintry mix will be confined along and northwest of Highway 54. That runs from Springfield to Clinton, Farmers City, Gibson City, up towards Gilman and Arga, along that general corridor. I'm interested in Menard, Cass, and Morgan counties, particularly for ice, but we'll likely see snow north of Bloomington through Pontiac and far northern Iroquois and Ford counties towards Kankakee County, the border there. That's where the snow starts Saturday morning into the afternoon. Once we get late afternoon into the evening, temperatures start dropping a little bit more. We'll see this wintry mix band pivot. There's a question on, will there be a heavier precip at that time, and will that include Champaign-Urbana? Or will we see most of the moisture fleeing by Saturday evening? Still thinking we'll get some good snow here north of Interstate 74, Bloomington, Watseka, Pontiac by Saturday evening. And then by Saturday night late into Sunday, any moisture left would be snow. Now the blue, not an indication on how heavy it is. We're only looking at the precip type right now. This is the winter weather alerts we have. Winter weather advisory for Morgan, Cass, Menard County. I think that's more for ice and freezing rain, some snow. McLean and Livingston, I think that's more for snow, maybe a little less than ice. We'll watch it there. I'm interested in particular here to add maybe Logan County, Ford, and Iroquois County with the next level of higher impacts here. But I think this is pretty good here, maybe even Sangamon County. We're going to watch here that freezing line, all that important. Winter storm warnings are off to the north and west. Chicago, there's LaSalle, Peru, Rockford, Peoria. Quincy, Quad Cities, just to our north and west, really getting a good band of likely 6 inches of snow, if not more. Let's talk future track, time it out, and mention exactly where this will be. Catch your place in the map. There's Champaign, there's Bloomington, Lincoln, Springfield, Jacksonville, Decatur, Mattoon, Effingham, Paris, Danville, Watseka, Pontiac. Pick your location and watch and see what happens here. Tonight, through tomorrow morning. This is 1 a.m. We're dry, but the cold front surging on through. By about 6 a.m. or so, that's when our window of opportunity for moisture will begin. There may be a little bit of drizzle and mist under this cloud deck here, but the main event seems to come in after 6 a.m. So you may wake up tomorrow and say, where's the moisture? Well, we're not expecting it until mid to late morning, we'll say here, even in Champaign County. But notice how we're seeing snow set up right along I-55, rain to the south, and a very narrow gradient right there with that freezing line. Boy, how many times, Champaign-Urbana, does that freezing line set up just northwest of town? We're probably going to do it again during the day here. Between here and, say, Paxton, Gibson City, or Leroy, probably changes from rain to snow. Wouldn't take much to push it south, wouldn't take much to push it north, though. But we're right close to the line there, really using the Highway 54 corridor, Springfield, Mount Pulaski, Clinton, up towards Bellflower, Gibson City, kind of as that dividing line there. This is at noon. Notice Livingston County, McLean County, primarily snow. Down here, though, Menard, Cass, and Morgan, a mix of snow and freezing rain. And that's going to be important to the forecaster when I show you those graphics. 3 o'clock, starting to see that pivot with the cold air downward a little bit. Not yet to Champaign-Urbana. It's close. You know, still, here's Leroy, there's Bellflower. It's just to the north and west. But as we go into 5, 6 o'clock, then we think that will begin our change over in Champaign-Urbana, probably even Decatur points to the south. Springfield should be seeing steady snow. Some heavier snow likely Bloomington, Pontiac, and Peoria at that point, and north of Interstate 74. We'll watch here by 8, 9, 10 o'clock, most of that moisture exiting. The quicker the cold air can come, the more snow we see. That makes sense, but by midnight, most of the snow is out of here, if not a little earlier than that. We'll likely have some lingering light snow showers and flurries through Sunday morning at 10 a.m. That may be the only chance Effingham, Mattoon, Paris have to get any snow. It would be very light, not much more than a few flurries making it down there for them. This is our forecast map here. First off, we talk about those snow totals. We're talking about a very sharp gradient here from 6 inches to less than an inch. You know, it's about 30 miles or so. We've actually nudged it south a little bit, which for snow lovers in Champaign-Urbana, that's good, but it may not be enough here. You may want to take a drive north to visit your friends up in Gibson City or towards Watseka, Pontiac, Bloomington Normal if you were looking for a couple of inches of snow here. So we're going to watch that. Again, the winter weather advisory, Livingston, McLean, but I'm watching Iroquois and Ford County. I think that could get added here before tomorrow rolls on in. And then, of course, to the south and west, watching the ice. This is our snowfall forecast now. Notice that very tight gradient setting up just northwest of Champaign-Urbana. We go from dusting less than an inch, some spots missing out, to 2 to 4 and even 3 to 6 inches in Livingston County here. I think Pontiac mentioned that a few days ago. I think Livingston County is the big winner out of this for snow. And so we could get 3 to 6 inches in Pontiac and points to the north, quickly diminishing with southward extent here. I mean, we're talking just north of Interstate 72 from dusting to a couple of inches of snow. Do you want to mention where this tight gradient is? I think in that area, that's likely going to see sleet as well. Sleet is not your friend when you want snow. Sleet is those little ice pellets. They're very small, but they really cut down in snow numbers. So if we get more sleet in there, those numbers go down. If the cold air stays pure and we keep it as snow, maybe we'll be on the higher end of that. But we're watching this zone right here for perhaps some sleet into the area. So we're going to watch and keep a very close eye on that. Traditionally, it seems like Champaign-Urbana is the sleet capital of central Illinois, so we'll probably get sleeted on, miss out on the snow, but we'll watch that. I mean, it's not that far. It's close, so close here. That's such a very pinpoint forecast for the area. So we look at those snowfall impacts. Livingston County, drifting and blowing of that snow, it's likely going to be a bit more powdery, and with some wind out there, that will blow it around. Even in a couple of inches, you could see some reduced visibility with some of that blowing snow, but of course the less you have, the less of a concern that is. Not really worried about power outages either. However, with the ice, remember Morgan, Cass, Menard County. I think that's the best chance to get a couple of tenths of inch of ice and freezing rain and elevated surfaces there. The thing to note too is sleet and ice, while both sleet and freezing rain are ice, I should say, have different impacts. Sleet on roads will ice them up. Freezing rain will ice up your trees and power lines and cause impacts there. So we'll likely have a little bit of both in that transition zone, which means roads, trees, and power lines all could have some trouble. And sleet can really slick things up quick here. You can get slicker than snot with that. We'll watch that for areas in Champaign-Urbana up to the west and north where that sleet sets on up. We talk about those impacts here. Again, we'll watch for those icy roads and bridges where the ice and sleet is. Some isolated power outages, you can't rule it out. You know, you get a little weight on a tree that's been damaged by a summer windstorm. It comes down, there's a local outage. But I do not expect this to be a high-impact ice storm like we had last year at this time, if you remember that. Quick check at temperatures here. Look at those wind chill values. Here's 11 p.m. Still feels like the 50s, even upper 50s. But that front pivoting on through by tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., the wind chill values in the 20s and 30s out there. By tomorrow night, into the teens and 20s. By Sunday morning, single digits and teens. And we will be cold then Sunday night as well. Where you see snow, a couple of inches of snow up here, watch what happens Monday morning. See that tight gradient right there? That's a really good indication by models that wind chill values where you have several inches of snow can be well below zero, whereas other spots are still cold in the single digits. And so we're going to watch. That's why I really think Livingston County is going to be the big winner there. The other thing, too, is this is not the only cold blast coming our way. This is the first cold blast. It actually will retreat a little bit. An even stronger cold blast comes by Wednesday into Thursday and settles on in. This is good news for snow lovers here. If you're disappointed and watching right now, and I know a number of you are, watch this next system come on through. This is system number one this weekend. Quickly breezes on by, a mix of everything. But the cold air sources itself in the right place. All snow on Thursday. And with a system like that, we're talking a couple inches at least. That's something we're going to watch here based on all trends and suggestions. So I have much greater hope that we'll cash in for you snow lovers Thursday. Not tomorrow, Thursday, if that's what you're looking for here. That's what I got for you here. We got the news starting in about 10 minutes, so we're going to wrap this up. Again, download the app. I've got the forecast numbers there. This video valid for Friday night. I'll probably be on Saturday early to watch and have another digital update for you, especially since we have no shows Saturday morning. The show schedule tonight, 6 and 10. Saturday, only 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. No morning show Saturday morning. And so we'll probably be in to keep an eye on it. Join us at 6. As well, we're talking about the top 2021 events while already starting 2022 off with a bit of an active pattern here. Those first 2 weeks of January trending colder, a couple of rounds of snow possible. Of course, round number 1 tomorrow, disappointing for some. Round number 2 on Thursday. If you're a snow lover, wait till Thursday. That's what I got for you here. We're going to scroll through and check the comments. And keep an eye on it here. I'm going to roll through quickly. If you're logging off, we'll see you in 10 minutes on TV. Kind of seeing questions. Quincy, I saw a question about Quincy. You're in that solid snow band. just to our west outside of our area. But then we have some viewers out there with the way the cable works. It's a really unique scenario. Folks checking it all over. Cool to see where folks checking in from. Got to give Tammy a shout out, Indianola. My grandparents had a farm just outside of Indianola. Rantoul. I'll tell you what, Chris, Rantoul's sitting right on that line. You know, we're from a dusting to a couple inches just to the north there, just north of Champaign. Champaign probably going to miss out, but there is a small window of opportunity where we could, you know, get up to an inch, if not a little more than that, as that last band rotates on through Saturday night. Happy New Year's to everyone, seeing a number of that. Some people hate the snow, other people love it. Snow should be illegal after Christmas. Love it. Decatur never gets any good weather like snow or rain. Now, hang on, Jessica. Last year, we had a forecast of 1 to 2 with a band of locally higher amounts, and we squeezed out 8 inches for you. So, Monticello had that same 8-inch band, and Champaign-Urbana had like 1.5 inches, if that. Gilman, I see that. Iroquois, Ford, Livingston County will have the highest snow totals. Next in line for that, probably Ford, Iroquois, McLean County. And then I think ice is more of Menard, Cass, and Morgan counties with some snow still sliding off to the east. Asking about the wind speeds, I think we're going to have a wind gust of 20 miles an hour or so at times. It won't be super strong, but that is a slight bit of a concern. But when you have powdery snow, if you have 10, 15 mile an hour wind gusts, that can blow that snow around, so that's something to mention. Sheila, going to Indianapolis, tomorrow you'll be heading east and onto the warmer side of the system, so you'll be good. If you might have your impacts earlier here, if you're leaving in the afternoon, depending on where you're coming from. John asking, repeat of last year in Bloomington. Yeah, last year at this time, we were talking about the same thing, deja vu, a winter weather event, and it's kind of that same area. Though last year was much heavier on the ice, this year seems to be more snow with that transition zone there that's clipping part of our area. Kathy says she's driving from Joliet to Gibson City. I think the roads are going to be pretty nasty by the afternoon and the evening, so you want to take it slow, give yourself some extra time there. All right, that's what we got. If you're joining on late, this is still valid. You can go back and watch it or catch me at 6 o'clock with the updates with Mark Maxwell. He's got all the news stories for you. A lot of good time in here. Andy Olson with sports. That's at 6 o'clock, and then we'll be back at 10 o'clock. Then I'll be in tomorrow morning, probably with the digital update. Of course, Happy New Year's to you. We'll see you in a couple of minutes on CBS. Take care. Have a great rest of your 2021.